Welcome to the Crystal Coach Show with me, your host, Anahata, helping you live every day with clarity, guidance, and practical wisdom. Are you feeling overwhelmed, anxious, maybe disconnected? Do you ever feel like you don't know how to live a life of peace and joy? I am Anahata Roach, the Crystal Coach, and during this show, we channel divine wisdom through stories of service, spirituality, and stones for self-care. The Crystal Coach Show leaves you with a feeling of connection and the clarity it takes towards becoming the best version of yourself as you hear from thought leaders and many others to help you ignite the crystalline nature of who you really are. Stay tuned. The Crystal Coach Show starts now. Hi there, and welcome to the Crystal Coach Show. I'm your host, Anahata Roach, and today I'm so delighted to have as a guest on our show a dear friend of mine, Beverly Trousdale, who is a wonderful metaphysical teacher and spiritual healer, and we're joining forces today because our topic is advanced manifestation for beginners. So, we've had, how many of you have been out there trying to do all of the things that the secret said, or there's so many people out there telling you how to manifest or what tools to use, or, what rituals to perform and all that sort of thing. And you're still not getting it. It's still not coming through for you. So today we're going to just kind of like take the cover off of that. Yeah, you've been given all these tools, but you haven't been taught how to really prepare to use them. And so today, Beverly and I are going to talk about what's underneath all of that. How do you really get to the place where you can use these tools in a way that's much more effective than what you've been told? So welcome today, Beverly. I'm so glad you're here, and yay.
Thank you. Conversations with you are always fun and enlightening.
Same. I look to you because you started your spiritual journey a heck of a lot longer than I did. I mean, like from the beginning, like when you were a child, right? I had some things that I did. I played with my rocks and I talked to them and they were my friends when I was a kid. But I didn't really come into my spiritual awakening and purpose until I was much more into my lifetime. I had much more experience. So that your perspective on things is, to me, comes from a broader place of wisdom than I can reach at this point. So I'm so delighted that you could make time for us today. And let's get down into it. What do you want to talk about first?
Oh, well, I really think technique is wonderful. And it's really good to know technique. But before we get into technique, we have to get into mindset. And I think mindset and understanding how to place our mind in the right frequency and vibration to access the universe. Yeah. I know that sounds really big.
It is. And it sounds like for people to really kind of grasp that, it's like, what does she mean? That's just so huge.
It is huge. But that's really where that's almost the starting gate.
Yeah.
And to get into that frequency is the preparation to go to the starting gate.
Right. And also that has to do with not only having that mindset, but also doing the work underneath that mindset to, clear out all of the gunk that says, I don't deserve to manifest this.
Exactly.
I'm, unworthy. I'm incapable. I'm incompetent. All of these mean negative talk and programming that keeps us from really stepping into that flow, as you were talking about, that higher frequency.
And that's a biggie.
It is a
People
biggie.
talk about, oh, well, it's just a mindset. No, 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 no. You can't go anywhere, even if consciously you think you're okay and you're
Mhm,
working.
mhm.
If your subconscious can't get on board with what you're saying, you'll manifest it. You'll out of the universe, you can reach it down and pull it out, and you can bring it like right here in front of you, and it'll drop, but it drops at your feet and you can't touch it if that subconscious brain doesn't open up those channels. So those channels have to be open subconsciously. That's why the clearing is important.
Right.
And I'm not a big fan of shadow work, but on some level, you have to get into a bit of shadow work to clear those subconscious blocks that were created when we were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old.
Yes.
Watching our family deal with finances, deal with their own manifesting. We
Right.
learned it just by being in the house.
Or actually in the womb
In
sometimes.
the womb, yeah, definitely, because we can hear all that.
Mhm.
So we're we're trying to undo stuff that we don't even understand is there.
Right, right.
So
And the
that's
other
where
opposite thing of what you just to kind of piggyback on what you said about what comes to you if you're not kind of in the right mindset. If you are, you know, sending an intention out there with this caveat that I'm not worthy of it, you're literally putting a block in
exactly.
front of your request.
Yeah.
And the it's just my mom used to tell me it, sometimes your prayers only hit the ceiling
And bounce back.
and bounce back. Or you might be, if you're afraid of what you're asking for, you might be getting the opposite back because that fear is being projected out into that fertile universal field to manifest into
Right.
reality. So into the physical.
And the thing is, my grandmother used to tell me, watch your details. Be careful what you ask for and watch your details. And
Mhm.
because it's those details, then make whatever you're asking for, instead of coming in the straight line to you, they can go sideways or do the sneaky thing and then drop in your lap. And
Exactly.
then that's really frustrating.
Another thing, Mama, when we're talking about generational cues here, because both of us had pretty spiritual parents and grandparents. Mama would always say to me, if you can see it like it's on a television in your mind,
Right.
yeah, so it's like the same thing. It's like be careful, think about the details of what you're picturing. So, bringing in all of your senses into what you want to manifest, you're envisioning that as a thought before it can come into an actual physical
Right.
reality. So it's created twice as a thought and then in the physical.
Right.
So the creation part of that is the the vision that you have, and
Exactly.
being able to see it like it was on the television. So,
Exactly. And then um, that's one of the reasons I start out a lot of my people, my students, and my clients with I am work. I
yes.
am work seems to be a really good, it can be highly, highly advanced,
Hmm.
but it can also be the simplest way to literally put your toe on the path. And depending on how complicated you get your I am statements. I
Right.
mean, we can start out with something as simple as just I am over and over and over and over again and connect with the divine that way. And then we can advance to I am worthy or I am enough
Hmm.
and then work up from there. But just those statements can help. It can begin that clearing process without doing a lot of heavy lifting work,
Mm.
which is awesome.
It
You're
is
eventually going to
awesome.
get
I'm like, you just blew my mind because for me, the work is real, the heavy lifting is clearing out those emotional programs that were there in the first place. And
Right.
so if you can just start by saying, I am worthy, but see, if you're saying it, it's cool. I mean, on one level, on the frequency level, it's I hear that, I understand that. But on the like the body level,
Right.
what if the body doesn't believe it?
Well, this is personal experience. And then I worked into education and reading after this. I kind of came to the knowing because I could not get my brain, my subconscious brain, to deprogram that poverty consciousness that came out of my household when I was a kid. And I worked and worked and worked for years, and I was never able to get over that hump.
Mm,
And a teacher of mine, like eons ago, said, okay, let's start with this, and started with the I am. And it was awesome. It was like, the old saying of, just give it to God. That's kind of what happened, because you're calling in the divine mind. When you say I am, you're
mhm.
connecting your own self being with divine mind in the I. And then the am is divine mind. And so you're putting you and divine together.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
when you get that divine energy working within you, some of that heavy lift, not all of it, but some of that heavy lifting, the divine energy will do along with you. And so the heavy lifting doesn't get as heavy.
right. It's all about intention too,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's all about intention. If you really have your heart in that intention to reconnect with your own
Exactly.
divinity, then it
Unity, it all
comes.
has to be on one level. And that's the hard part. It's a simple thing, but it's a challenge to do.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Think that's why we're talking about it.
Right, right. And do we ever get really, really, really good at it? I don't know.
Well, some people seem to, in terms of being able to bring things that they desire. But again, it's the work, it's the ongoing. I mean, we're never really done when we're here.
Mm-mm.
It's an ongoing process
And
of working.
there's always some new level of something you want.
Right.
So you're always trying to manifest, and every vibrational level you get to, there's some new desire that you
Hmm.
don't even know about 4 or 5 steps back. So we're always working on manifesting in that next level.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
it just never goes away.
No, it never goes away. Um, spe- on that, I want to take a quick break. And so when we come back, we'll just continue this conversation about how we can get ourselves focused into the intention of reconnecting with our divine selves and letting go of that which is holding us back, so that the manifestation practices that you've been given can actually start to show some results. So we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll see you then. We'll keep talking about it. Hi, and welcome back to the Crystal Coach Show with me, your host, Anahata. We're talking today with Beverly Trousdale about advanced manifesting for beginners. Um, just to reiterate, Beverly, aside from being a really wonderful person and a friend, is also the founder of Grateful Life Holistic Practice. She is devoted to helping people develop their spiritual path for more enlightened and prosperous living. Beverly works with clients to gain awareness of their own control and personal power. She offers consciousness coaching, manifestation practices, intuitive tarot, channeling of ascended beings and ancestors, and also she's a certified hypnotherapist. She has areas of emphasis on intuitive practices, psychic and manifestation skills, the afterlife, meditation and prayer, past lives, and other experiences of an intense spiritual nature. As people worldwide struggle to remain sane and solvent in the face of inflation, despair, and disaster, learning to affirm the existence of a power that lies within us is imperative. Learning to send pure consciousness and energy of all creation towards achieving what we may be working to manifest is one of our greatest challenges. So Beverly's goal is to assist people in successfully laying out their own life path. So again, welcome to the show, Beverly, and thank you for being here today. I manifested you.
You did. You did. I don't mind being manifested. It's perfectly okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that. So where were we? We were talking about how the things that folks don't really know is that, you know, they might be taught all of these different ways and skills about manifesting, but if they haven't done, they're not in the right kind of vibrational framework to connect with the divinity within themselves and the frequency of the manifestation flow, that they really, that's why people get frustrated.
Right.
And I know that when we talked before, it was, you had mentioned that you'd seen a lot of clients come in and they're like, I've tried and tried and tried to do something and I just can't get it done.
Right.
So, you know, that's just is proof that, you know, there's a lot of people talking about it out there, but nobody's really giving people a window into the inner work that has to happen before we can get this done.
Well, you know, we live in a time of shortcuts.
Oh, yes,
Our world is full of shortcuts, you know, fast cooking, fast eating, fast getting to know people, fast communication. The one thing that we really have to understand is that when we're doing manifesting, we have to do it old school. There are no shortcuts. You know, you've got to go back and go and get into yourself to a certain degree. Because you, again, like you're saying, you have to clear all that out. But the thing is, once it's cleared out, the universe does not like a void.
No, you got to fill it. Got to fill it.
Okay. I also have clients who say, I've cleared. Okay. And I'm still not working. All right. So you've cleared. My question to them always is, what did you replace it with? You know,
because if you're clearing a space in your home, for example, you know, the whole sage it, you know, burn a bundle of sage. Well, if you don't follow it up with filling that space that's been cleared with either sound or sweet grass burning or, you know, something, it's not going to stay clear.
No, the vacuum will always be filled. And I prefer to fill vacuum with something of my own choice, other than something that, you know, my past life or my current life, the negative things that happen around us, the chaos, that can fill those spaces.
Right.
And you don't choose that. It just will fill it automatically. So as you work to clear, then you have to immediately put in what you're wanting.
Right.
Putting in the peace, putting in the divine energy, putting in the personal power. And so many of my people, especially women, are coming to me right now and saying, I'm lost.
I'm stuck.
I'm stuck. I don't think I have the power. I'm being blown around like a leaf in the wind. Well, we're not supposed to be blowing around. We're supposed to be in control of ourself and our own vibration.
That's why the victim mentality is so pervasive, because it's an easy way to identify when, if you feel like you're being blown around by the wind, then it's not anything, it's always outside of you. It's not in your control. But yes, indeed, my dear, it is in your control.
Yes. So. And when I look a client in the eye, just boom in the eye, and I say, you have power. And they give me this totally blank stare.
Oh, yeah.
Of what? It's like, no, no, no. There is no power outside of yourself.
Right.
All of your power is within you. Divine power is within you. Feminine power is within you. It's just we have not raised our generations in our society to understand we have, especially women, we have
Yes.
power.
Well,
So
that's the cultural programming, Beverly.
exactly. So we have to, as searchers and seekers and students and would-be magicians and metaphysicians, we have to go back and reclaim, not claim, because we're born with power.
Right. Right.
So we have to reclaim that power we had when we took our first breath.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's going back into that's when you have to get into all these I am statements, all these personal power statements. Affirmations work. They're a really good spot to start.
Yeah, they do. They do work to a certain degree. I'm still kind of like, I totally am in alignment with what you're saying, but there's like the affirmations are like salve on a wound.
Exactly.
Okay. And, but doesn't always, it might just keep it moist and okay, but it's not necessarily going to heal that wound.
Right.
But it may make it tolerable so that you can see some progress. But unless the deepness, the infection under that wound has been excised and cleared and cleaned and bandaged and
Right.
made whole again, the the same kind of things are always going to be
Right.
coming
True.
back to you to feel stuck
But
with.
that's where our practitioners come into the whole ball of wax.
Right. That's
We
why
have
people come to us, right?
you do the crystal thing. I don't I don't know this much
Oh,
compared to you about crystals. I no, I totally do not. I totally defer to you on anything in that realm. Um, so come to you and do the crystal work. Do the stuff that you can pull in with your magic. You can pull in information from ancestors, from all the entities you work with through your crystals, through your crystal work. And you have the ability to then take the vibration of that crystal and place it on people in the right spot so that you can raise their physical vibration in their bodies.
And the denser energy can get cleared off,
Right.
right? But you're an energy healer too, Beverly.
But I don't work so much in the physical realm.
Well, I mean, I use the physical body, but I also
Right.
work in the other bodies as well. There's 5 different bodies,
Right.
so.
And I don't have the expertise to work on that physical realm. I really work more in the vibrational realm and
That.
where to put their mind and how
Mhm.
I can teach them how to get to the alpha mind and the delta and the theta mind.
That's so important. That is
Right.
so important. Yes, yes. So, every piece of what we do kind of interweaves and
Exactly.
integrates. And that's why I don't understand, just as an aside, I don't understand the competitiveness
No, I don't
of
either.
of people who do the work that we do.
I
I
don't
don't
get it.
understand it. We're all in this together. We're all helping humanity. We're all,
Right.
doing what we can and we're called to do. It's just blows my mind. It
And
blows my
we
mind.
we all do it differently. I mean, okay, I do intuitive tarot, but the way I do it is so totally different from every other tarot reader I've ever, and vice versa. We can all be in one big circle and we will all do the same thing in each our own unique way,
Yes.
because we all have a unique talent. We all have a God-given focus that we're working with in each lifetime that we come through. And
Right.
we don't usually butt up against each other. We usually kind of fit in
Hmm.
in sequence with each other.
Well, I mean, both of us are OGs, right? And so we have a kind of a similar perspective and cultural reference form that we're working through. But what I find is amazing is that, you know, when you have people that are very similar in vibrational access, you get the same reading, you know.
Right.
That's we've actually experienced that. We've had the same client come to us with the same question and get the same answer.
Right.
It's
And
hysterical.
sometimes at the same time from, you know.
That's true. With mutual
Right.
friend. That's
Right.
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 It's funny. But anyway, the manifestation aspect of what we do is, you know, so complementary. And it's just that people don't understand that there's no quick fix.
No.
Because as you pointed out so sagely, there that's what people are being taught or they're used to, or the cultural kind of programming that's going on now
Right.
is that you don't have to work so hard and you get an award just for showing up,
Right.
you know. And I'm sorry, I think that's a crippling kind of
It is.
mindset, because it says, oh well, I'm just the best because I showed up. No, you got to do
Yay.
the work, baby.
Right. Right. And it's a different mindset that's evolving in our society at the moment. And, you know, I'm not sure where that's going to take us. I'd like to see us more in the work frame of mind.
Mm.
But if enough of us keep working, if enough of us keep teaching, I think I think we'll get to the people that we need to get to.
Oh, always.
That's my bright spot. You know, that's my optimism kicking in. It's like we're doing this because we're not really voices in the wilderness. I mean,
Mm-mm.
we're kind of voices in the immediate now for those who have ears to hear, basically.
Right. I just was shown like those flash mob kind of things where there's one like a violin playing and just playing really prettily in the midst of all this these crowds and this din of people, and then there's another instrument that comes in and joins and starts playing
Right.
and playing the harmony, and then there's another instrument full. First thing you know, you've got a full orchestra, right?
And that's
And
us. Yes.
and people go, whoa, you know, but that's the energy, is we're all playing our own instruments and this, you know, adding our own vibration to the collective.
Yeah.
And the beautiful harmonies that are created help to lift everyone up.
Yeah, and I'm programming that as a collective, our individual little cell people that we have, all of us are a cell of some kind. And
Mhm.
so that each of us come into our own vibration, because I'm fully into the whole Nikola Tesla idea of vibration, and energy is the key to everything we're searching for.
I agree. I tell
Literally.
100%, 100%. Yeah. Well, we're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to start talking about, you know, let's just talk some specifics about how we can start to prepare to get ourselves ready to manifest. We'll be right back. Hi there. Welcome back to the Crystal Coach Show with me, your host, Anahata, talking today with Beverly Trousdale about advanced manifesting for beginners. So we've kind of covered the waterfront about why manifesting doesn't work if you are in a mindset that isn't aligned. And you've already offered a couple of suggestions, Beverly, about the I am statements, the affirmations that you can say to kind of bring your vibration up a little higher. What is there something else that maybe you do or you offer for your clients that can help them get better in that flow?
Well, usually my clients come in, we have no clue where we're starting. We just kind of work into it. And they will usually say, I'm trying to meditate, because that's my question. Are you meditating? If you want to raise your vibrations, you got to meditate. And then they get this really pained look on their face and they go, but I'm trying. I was like, okay, no, stop. You can't get there from here. You can't get into any form of meditation by trying. It
Do or
has
do not. There is no try.
Exactly. So I put on my little green suit and I become Yoda for just a second and off I go. And so I immediately stop what we're doing. And then I just have them, I give them a physical tool that they can take home with them and put in their tool chest. I drop back into my hypnotherapy background and I just have them relax for a minute and I count them down into into that deep mental state. It only takes like 10 seconds really. And I get them into a nice, comfortable alpha state where their little eyelids are fluttering. And then I ask them to feel their body and feel their brain and feel awareness of what this mental vibration of alpha mind feels like. So that from then on, they can just take a deep breath and use the word relax. And their brain will automatically relax their body because we've programmed it while they're in the alpha mind.
Can you describe alpha mind? I mean, I've heard of beta waves and all that. So what's the alpha?
It gets a little technical, but our brain is kind of like a car engine.
Yeah.
It goes revolutions per second. And there's beta, alpha, theta, delta, and then there's one other, but I don't remember.
Gamma?
And basically what it's the frequencies per second, revelations per second that our brain produces as it's being active. So in the beta brain that's where you drive, that's where you work, that's where you do most people do their daily life there. But it's mostly in the right brain hemisphere. So you take a deep breath and you slow your mind down by breathing techniques, some deep breathing a little bit, and relaxing your muscles consciously. And then that slows your brain cycle down to what is the alpha frequency. And it's counted. They put the little things on your head and they can tell you what frequency you're at scientifically when your brain slows down to the alpha frequency. Okay. And that's where you slip into prayer. If you're doing prayer work, that's alpha mind. If you're doing meditation, that's alpha mind. If you're being creative, if you're a writer or an artist or an actor, a lot of times actors go into that alpha mind when they take on a part. Right. So I understand. So that's how you get into the alpha mind. You're slowing it down by breathing. And then you can slow it down farther and farther into the theta and the delta.
Got it. Okay.
That's alpha mind, is where you want to be, where your brain is firing neurons between the right brain and the left brain hemispheres. It's a little more balanced.
Because I've heard of like theta healing and all that. So that's way, way, way up there in the
that's
spiritual
really
body.
It's the higher physical vibrations, but a slower mind rotation.
Got it. Okay, thank you. I've always wondered about that. Hey, learn something every day.
The faster your brain goes, the lower your physical vibration is going to be.
Interesting.
I know.
Wow.
When you want to reach into those higher minds, you get into your auric fields, even the Akashic records, you cannot access your Akashic records if you're in the beta brain.
No way.
No way. You have to get into the theta and theta brain.
So when I'm doing my work, I'm obviously in that, because then I can communicate with other beings that are around us.
But your body is functioning, so your actual physical vibration when you're working is high, but not as high as if you were just laying out flat or sitting flat and letting your body just go numb and do some, then progress out of your body. You have to get into a higher physical. That's when you want your physical and mental to match.
Yeah. So you're totally integrated.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing that. Because, you know, it's like, I wonder if my listeners would really, because I didn't understand what the alpha mind really meant. I was thinking that was, you know, well, it is a higher frequency than beta, right? So, but it doesn't parse because it's alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta.
Right.
So it's like, why is the beta one the faster and then alpha? But whatever. So people can do kind of guided meditation to kind of take them into a place that they can really feel in their bodies, but not be so constricted by the brain's activities.
Right.
And feel into that place of relaxation. So that helps you to, if you're in, see, we live in such a paradox. I mean, the whole way to manifest is to not attach to it. You know, that's another thing that, you know, you ask for something and then you really, really want it and you want it now. And it's, oh, I want it so bad. And you just like, it's not here. It's not here. What are you doing? You're just preventing the universe from giving it to you, because the universe.
Yeah, but when you tense up like that, when you tense your body because you want it so badly, you are blocking the energy. It's like you're closing the gate when you tense your body.
Right.
So you have to just let it flow and go, okay, fine. It's coming. I know it's coming. I'm just going to let it flow. You have to relax your body to let it in.
That's the hardest part, is the trusting and the allowing of divine timing.
Exactly.
Not our own timing. But if you're asking for whatever comes to you in the highest and best good, see, if you were, as you know, we were talking earlier, if you can see it like it was a television show, and that with that much detail and reality, it can be brought to you. But if you ask for this or better, whatever's in my highest and best good, may it be so.
That's a good one right there. That highest and best good.
You've unlocked the handcuffs off the universe, and the universe says, "Oh, okay, I don't have to bring it exactly the way you said it, but if there's a better way, our brains can't comprehend what would be a better way for us.
We forget that when we program for something and we set our mind on that one little thing, we're limiting the entire universe, and just don't limit the universe. So it comes what it comes, when it comes, how it comes. And so many of the things that I have manifested, when it was all over with, I sat back and I went, I didn't see that one coming.
I know.
I didn't see that one. Had no idea how that was going to happen.
I didn't see this podcast coming. It's like, what? I'm going to do a podcast? It was never on my radar, ever.
It's a constant surprise, you know? It's like, okay, fine.
Yes. So the main takeaway for folks who are listening is that if you are emotionally attached to an outcome that you want, i.e. a manifestation, it's actually doing you more harm than good.
Right.
The best way is to send it up and out as an intention for the highest and best good and walk away from it.
Exactly.
And that's the trick. You can't
trusting that it's just going to show up.
Yes, just trusting, because it's not on our timeline. So we don't have to keep thinking about it or worrying it like it was a loose tooth.
Right.
You know, the more you put your energy on it, the
one thing that I have begun doing in the last 2 years is I would trust, okay, it's coming in the timeline. Well, I have begun giving a tad of a caveat to that. I now say, okay, fine, I know it's coming in this lifetime.
Oh, okay. Good, good. Good, good. Yes, in
Because
this lifetime.
actually, it was one of my kids. I love my kids. Actually, it was one of my kids that said, "Yeah, Mom, but you're saying it's coming, but are you being specific about what
Which
lifetime you
lifetime?
want it to come in?" Like, no, I didn't think about that one.
I love it.
Now I
That's
want it in this
awesome.
lifetime.
I'm adding that to my arsenal in
Right
this
here.
lifetime. In this lifetime. Yeah, but that's just the one once I learned that kind of trick that it's not so much the repetition, the repetition means that it's not there, and that's kind of giving the wrong signal to the universe. I mean, journal about it. Absolutely. Journal about what your desires and your vision are. But, if you're going to journal out a prayer or an intention, and may it be so in my highest and best good, don't keep journaling
No.
about the same thing. Do something different.
And that's a habit I am still continuing trying to break. I catch myself doing that all the time. And I work very diligently at once I'm work on manifesting and I make my statements and I do all that, that I immediately then switch to gratitude work.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
I'm no longer manifesting whether it's in my hand or not. I am instantly switching to I am grateful for, because I
Yes.
already have it
I
and I'm
already have it. It's
enjoying
already
it
here.
now. And isn't this wonderful?
Yay. Yay.
Yeah,
Yay. Absolutely. I preach that the same way. Exactly. You just, the gratitude is what brings stuff to you, because if you're
right.
grateful before you even have it, that there's the trust, there's the faith that's
And
needed to
some of my
manifest it.
clients, when I tell them this, they say, yeah, but isn't that lying to myself? Because I'm not grateful. I don't have it. I said, no, no, no. It's not really lying. I am a proponent of string theory and
Mm.
quantum physics.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everything we do in metaphysics has a good logical scientific reason. And science is now proving what we're doing with quantum theory.
Right.
And my thought is, I can immediately be grateful for something I'm programming for, because I've programmed it and I understand that in one of those dimensions it's already there. So I'm
Yes.
not really lying to myself. It's the fact that I know I have it in some dimension, in
Yeah.
some time frame. It's already there on
It's just,
some
it has to be
quantum
brought
level.
into this reality. Yeah.
Right. It just
Right.
hasn't filtered down into my reality yet.
Or
And so
this
I'm not
reality.
lying to myself because of my own belief system in the whole scientific fact of that string theory.
I I I'm in line with that. That
Right,
that makes sense to me. It
right,
absolutely makes sense to me. I've experienced being out in the quantum field, and
right.
it's like,
Me too.
oh, interesting. I've actually walked between two timelines and watching what could have happened, and then or what's happening in this one, and then I'm in this reality watching what's going on and going, huh, this is really weird. But it definitely exists, and certainly scientifically it's been proven that it's not just a theory anymore. I mean,
Right.
that's why quantum mechanics and quantum physics exists now.
Well, science has finally caught up to us.
That's true.
I
That's
know.
very true. I love it. um so I, as usual, I always have a recommendation or some recommendations of crystals and stones to use to support whatever we're talking about. Now, we're talking about how do we do the work of manifesting with so the inner work, right? So how do we use this crystals and stones to help us with that? Just I have a couple of them today, one of them being rutilated quartz. Now, I don't know if you might be able to see it on the video part, but just you can look it up if you're just listening. The rutilated quartz has these little threads of rutile in them. It looks almost like feathers, and it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful within the concept of the clear quartz. Now I've actually got a piece of smoky quartz that has golden rutile feathers in it, little needles of this mineral rutile. And this helps you to ground your manifestation. So as Beverly was saying before, it has to be in your physical being. The manifestation you're bringing this into your physical reality. And so to being fully integrated with your body, mind, and soul, this helps you to get that connection, that grounding in of your desire to bring something to you. But remember, you work with this to ground it in, but then once it's done, then you don't need to work with that anymore because it's already grounded in. You need to trust and you need to have faith. Okay. And then I thought that there's a lot of confusion around citrine. In my practice, citrine is the vibration of manifestation. I mean, the fire element to me is about creating and manifesting. And within the fire element, we have two key ones. We have the manifesting stone, which is citrine. And we also have the creation stone, which is zincite, which I don't really have a sample of right now. But anyway, I wanted to show you the difference between what comes out of the ground as Mother Earth's naturally irradiated quartz called citrine. You can see it's kind of a brownish golden, and what's on the market as citrine, which is more this really light orangish kind of quartz. This, unbeknownst to me, I never knew this because I was using this, as it was. But when I found out what the real citrine looks like, I stopped really. I mean, I use it still, but I really prefer this one because it's literally what the earth created. Man created this. This is actually started out as an amethyst, and it was irradiated as an amethyst, and it became this kind of orangey yellow quartz. And it still has a vibration of manifestation. And if you're working on getting into a place where you can really comfortably set your intention for what you want to manifest, the citrine is really a good helper there. So if like, for example, if you do the meditation that Beverly was suggesting, if you hold the manifestation stone, the frequency of manifestation in your hand while you do your meditation to get to the point where you're relaxing and you're in this frequency of manifestation, then that whatever your heart is asking for can happen, and you can just it opens the gateway, as Beverly was saying. It opens the gateway. So that's another stone, citrine, that you can use to support your work. Finally, there's a really cool kind of combination of amethyst and citrine called ametrine that you can use. That the amethyst has a higher frequency of divine connection, and it's mixed with that manifestation frequency. So to Beverly's point about really being in that alpha mind and that connection to your higher frequencies, the ametrine can help get you there. So that's another tool for your meditation as well. But remember, once you set your manifestation, once you have that list, that vision, and you say, this or better, folks, I'm trusting whatever's going to come in my highest and best good, this or better, walk away. The more you worry it, the more time is going to, it's almost like do not pass go, do not collect $200. You think about it and it's not here, and you're going back to square one. So, yeah, so that's advanced manifestation for beginners. And we're so grateful for you to be here and listening, and we're grateful for Beverly to share her time with us. Beverly, is there a way that folks can reach out to you if they'd like to talk to you about working with you?
Well, I don't mind sharing my cell phone number. That's fine. It's 903-802-4686. But in all reality anymore, I really only work at Mystic Valley.
That's in St. Louis,
Yeah,
Missouri.
that's
Yeah.
it's a metaphysical shop in St. Louis. So if they want physically to see me, I'm there most Sundays. So
Mhm.
they have to call the shop at Mystic Valley in Maplewood.
Right.
But my cell phone, occasionally I will do phone work sometimes, but mostly Mystic Valley.
Hmm. And you do have a Facebook,
I do have a
Grateful.
Facebook.
It's Grateful Life Holistic Practice. So it's www.facebook.com/Grateful Life Holistic Practice. And so that's how you can get you can see what's going on with Beverly on a regular basis is on Facebook. So anyway, I'm so, as I say, I'm so very grateful that you took the time to be here with us today. And it was a fun chat. And I hope we helped some folks figure out that this is the reason why they might be having a problem with their manifesting practices, right? Okay. So we're glad that you can be with us, and that's another episode of the Crystal Coach Show. We are the first and third Mondays of each month and at noon Central. So we hope you will continue to join us, and we'll see you next time on the Crystal Coach Show. Bye for now. You have been listening to the Crystal Coach Show, helping you live every day with clarity, guidance, and practical wisdom. With me, your host, Anahata. Tune in every first and third Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific Time on TransformationTalkRadio.com, where we channel divine wisdom through stories of service, spirituality, and stones for self-care. Feel connected and reside in the vibration of love on The Crystal Coach Show. For more information and to become the best version of yourself, visit thecrystalcoach.com. That's thecrystalcoach.com. See you next time.